Right now, you might be stuck at home in your home country, knowing that this is not the place you want to be, this is not the situation you want to find yourself in, and you're looking for a way to get out. And to do that, you need to find a way to get some extra money, get some income to be able to leave your country and set up somewhere else where you want to be. But how do you do that? So I'm going to go through what I did just last year to get out of Australia and move out here to Thailand and do all my work here full time. The first thing you need is a solid income source. You cannot do any of this without getting some solid money coming in. You need to do that first. Get yourself a job where your time equals money. You might hear a lot of people saying that having your time equal money is a pretty broke thing to do and you can't make anything long term from it. And that is true. But the advantage of this from a very low level is that any effort you put in, you're guaranteed to get X amount of money out. That's really important. This income source that you first get has to be guaranteed money. So it could be an hourly job working in a supermarket. Any job where you're getting an hourly wage and you know if you go to work 40 hours of that week, you are guaranteed to make this much money by the end of the week. That's the most important thing. That's step one. That's what I had in Australia. I was working in a supermarket with a full-time salaried role, and I knew if I was there for 40 hours in the week, I would guaranteed have this much money in my bank account at the start of next week. That's the first thing you need. Once you got your solid income source sorted, once you know that you're getting your money in every week, the second thing you have to do is try and cut your expenses down as low as possible. If you haven't made a budget before, learn how to do one. Make yourself a budget, be realistic, but really ask yourself if you need the things that you're buying or if you just want them, and only spend money on the things you absolutely need and try and make it as cheap as possible so that you've got as much money left over each week as you possibly can. Because the really big thing you got to start doing before you start any business, before you start any new venture, before you book a plane ticket to jump on a plane and go to a different country, you need to have some savings behind you. You cannot do anything unless you got some money in the bank, some money to fall back on, and some money to invest in starting a new business. The third thing, and this is often the hardest thing for anyone, this is what I struggle the most with, and that's find a money-making source or find a business that you can do purely remotely. So something you can just have a laptop, Wi-Fi, and you're set, you can do it from anywhere in the world. If you can get this down, then you are set to go anywhere, do anything you want, and set up any reality that you can think of. But actually establishing this business in the first place is often the hardest thing of this entire process. Now, not all opportunities here are created equal, but the good news is you can do virtually any business you can think of and make it successful and make it work, because it's a double-edged sword. If you put time, effort, and mistakes into any business and you do not give up on it, you can make that work. Every business that you can make money long term though is going to require a lot of effort, a lot of sacrifice, and maybe a few months of work before you start to see any real results. And that's where people go wrong. That's where I went wrong previously. Back when I was younger, like 15, 16, I tried heaps of different things. I tried jumping on the dropshipping trend. I tried starting a clothing brand. I tried trading. I tried all these different things. But I never stuck with one business long enough to make the amount of mistakes it takes to actually become successful. And that's a trap a lot of people fall into. You see someone tries a business for a month, nothing works, they give up and they try a new business. They're resetting and they're starting from zero. They make a month of mistakes there, give up, start something else. Make a month of mistakes there, give up, start something else. And all that's happening is you're failing, resetting. You're not actually making any progress. What you have to do is decide on one business and you stick with that. You fail, you try again, you fail, and you keep building yourself up. And finally, you will get to the point where you make money. So this is what me and my friend did. We decided, let's get into marketing. Let's start a new agency. Both of us were very new to this, but we spent about 3 months locked in our rooms. Every waking hour we could were going into these businesses. I was still working full-time at my job. So I'd wake up in the morning, make a coffee, jump in, start working my hustle, go to work, clock in, clock out, come back, straight away back into my hustle. When I get tired, gym session, back into my hustle. And we did that for about 3 months every single day. There was not one day which I did not put hours and hours into this hustle. And that's what you have to do. That's the reality of it. You can pick any business you want, but if you're not going to put all this effort and this time into it to make it work, if you're not going to look at the business and give it absolutely no chance of failing, then you won't make it. Try and pick a skills-based business. So something like marketing or sales, that's not just a business you learn, that's a skill you learn. That's a skill you can take with you in life. So if you learn how to sell something, you can apply that in every area of your life, not just in your business. And one day, if your business stops working, you've still got that skill that you can carry forward with you. You haven't lost anything. So when you're looking for your opportunity for your business, try and make it a skill-based business, because that is something that no one can take from you and something you can always use in the future. Once you've got your business, set up a structure where you can put every waking hour of spare time you have into that business. If you're not doing it, no one's going to do it for you. Your business is only growing when you water it. To get your plant to blossom into a money tree you can pluck the notes off, you have to put hours and hours of hard work into it. So to do this, structure yourself some time blocks. Don't just think, oh, I've got some time now, I'm going to sit down, do 30 minutes, check my phone. Structure blocks during your most productive parts of the day. Or if you're working full-time like I was, put your big boy pants on. Do your work before your job, do your work after your job, and just keep doing that. And this will be the hardest part of the whole process. In those first few months where you're not seeing results and you're putting in hours and hours every day and you don't know when you're going to get your first big break, your first big paycheck, that's when you want to quit. But that's when everyone wants to quit. And that's when 99% of people quit. And the people that win are just the people who didn't quit. They're not the people who had a much better idea. They're not the people who got much luckier than you. They're just the people who decided in that moment, when they're 2-3 months into their business and nothing's going right, they said, I'm not going to quit. I'm just going to put my head down. I will find a solution. I will not give this business any chance of failure. And then you break through, and then you start to get the results, and then you get the momentum and you get that upward trajectory just to keep going. Here's where it starts to get more exciting. Once your business, once your side hustle starts to get some cash flow, look back at your full-time job, look back at whatever you're doing to get your guaranteed money, and try and transition more of your hours out of that job into your side hustle. When me and my friends started making money through our marketing agency, what I did was I actually handed in my resignation for my full-time job and I stepped back down to casual. So I was no longer a manager in the store. I was just a casual team member coming around doing maybe 10, 20 hours a week just to get a little bit of money on the side. But I was no longer putting my mental focus and all these physical hours into that job. That was all starting to go into my business now to try and scale that up as quickly as possible. And then once you've really got your full-time hustle set up, even if you're not guaranteed that this thing's going to print you money for the next 5 years, start to look to get out of your job completely. So as soon as you get that opportunity where you can actually justify to yourself, okay, I'm going to get more now from going all in on my side hustle. My job here is just holding me back. Quit your job, go all in your side hustle, book your plane ticket, and get out to that place you want to go. Get out to where you want to build your dream life. The last point here, and this one's really, really important. This is a trap that I see heaps and heaps of people fall into when they come out here, especially to Thailand. And this is a trap that I very nearly fell into. Once you escape, once you get out of that situation you were in, and once you get out and move your life to the place you want to be, don't stop. Don't slow down. Once you get out, this is not the end. This is just the beginning. This is where the real work begins. This is where you have the opportunity to really make something. If you put your head down, you don't get distracted. You don't go out partying. You don't go out to see bar girls. You don't start smoking in your room at night. This is where if you put your head down, you put the work in, that's where you really start to win. And when you get to this last stage here, when you're in that place that you wanted to be 5 years ago, keep that perspective. Remember where you were a couple of years ago. Remember how hard it was when you were working your full-time job, just trying to get enough extra money to save up for a plane ticket. Remember the emotions you had at that point and how difficult life was. Don't come out here, forget about all that and think this is normal. This is a really good opportunity you've got. And if you don't take it by the horns, it will escape you and you will have to go back and restart. And that's just the beginning. That's just the start of the game. That's not the end. That's where it gets exciting. And that's where you really want to be. So chase your dreams, boys. Hopefully these action steps help you, and I'll see you in the next video.